try to stop nobody from hitting him. You know what I mean? They didn't prosecute the people, the Shah, Iran, and a couple more Islamic leaders that put the hit on it. They didn't go in there and arrest their ass and lock them up for conspiracy to contract a murder.
Right.
They didn't do it. But that had been one of us. We would have been so deep under the penitentiary, we'd have been years trying to dig our way out. Once they got you, it's hard to get out. And if you got any sense, you're going to make it hard for them to get you again. But if you go watch the prison system, the average dude get out of prison, I think they put a boomerang in his back pocket because they be back within a couple of days sometime.
Yeah.
You know, and the worst thing I used to hear, I'll be sitting in there listening to a guy talk. He be like, yeah, on my last bit. What you mean on your last bit? How many bits you did? Oh, man. I done been down my knees about 7 times. Man, we just throwing your life away and then start playing.
Man, he might well live in jail.
Yeah, you know, but that used to traumatize me. There's so many guys in there and their conversations starting off, yeah, man, on my last bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you do this more than once? You can't do this. This is the dumbest BS in the world, man. How you do this more than once? Explain that to me.
Right. Hey, why? Hey, Rob, why is Nubians claiming Nubians in America specifically claiming their birthrights a threat to national security? Like, why would I know you probably answered this question 1,000 times. I probably said it, but could you go over why is us getting our birthrights back a threat to national security? You know what I'm saying?
Because to get our birthright back is to overthrow the legal fiction.
Well, go ahead.
The legal fiction is founded up on the appearance of legitimacy. It's not that it's legitimate. If they put enough uniforms on the ground, they look legitimate. It's the police state. We was the only people on the planet that had a mail delivery system. Everybody else had an individual courier. They told us it was the Pony Express and it was started by some pale faces, but we had been doing that for eons before they came.
Right.
You know, we had both the women telepathically talking to each other and the brothers, and you know, we out in taking the braves out to learn how to be men. We had to send messages back and report. This is where your Pony Express came from. Right? And they had a certain amount of time to get the message to the big mama. This was going on. You know, you give her the whole accounting, the roll call, or who with you, you know, all that kind of stuff. And if you need supplies, they know how much supplies they got to send. But this stuff right here we going through, this is the dumbest shit in the world to me, Elder.
Dang. Hey, when I studied the clan mother stuff, I put the clan mother tape out. I see that the clan mother had a spokesman. Big Mama had a spokesman.
Always.
I was saying that Whack 100 to me, he fit that description. Like he fit the description of one of the Red House spokesmen. Like how he be talking, how he be saying stuff.
I don't want to talk about him.
You know, like Whack because the big U thing, right?
Nope, it got nothing to do with Big U. I don't.
Why you don't like Whack?
Nope, I can't talk about Whack. I'd rather talk about Charleston White.
What about Charleston White? Charleston White is a spokesman for Big Mama?
Well, all of us is in one way or another.
Go ahead.
We either speaking up to make changes, or we speaking up to bring awareness to a certain topic or issue. So we all end up being our spokespersons. But some of us is the spokesperson for the enemy, and I don't want to give them no glory.
Go ahead. So you're saying Whack is he worked for the police. He police. Like Valid, what's the name of it? Jumpman and all them.
Listen.
We go to the next question.
Yeah, let's go to the next question.
My next question that we have for you, brother. Now, being that the killer clowns, they de facto on, they liquidating all the assets. It seems like they pretty much get, but the cops seem like the cops still treating Nubians. The cops they still out here, and I see the Nubians handling it in another way. They ain't being aggressive with the cops. They're like, man, hey, what you doing? Like, are you like you see what you doing? It's like the cops are doing a same intimidation tactics to Nubians, right? Like they pulling brothers over, want to pull them out the car, and just treating. But a lot of brothers now know their rights. They know more about what's it ain't like it used to be back in the day where brothers didn't know what was going on. Brothers know about Fifth Amendment. Brothers know
supplies. They gotta see it.
Mm-hmm.
But this stuff right here we going through, this is the dumbest shit in the world to me, Elder.
Dang. Hey, when I studied the clan mother stuff, I put the clan mother tape out. I see that the clan mother had a spokesman. Like Big Mama had a spokesman.
Always.
I was saying that Whack 100 to me, he fit that description. Like he fit the description of one of the Red House spokesmen. Like how he be talking, how he be saying stuff.
I don't want to talk about him.
You know, like Whack because the big U thing, right?
Nope. It got nothing to do with Big U. I don't
Why you don't like Whack?
Nope, I can't talk about Whack. I'd rather talk about Charleston White.
What about Charleston White? Charleston White is a spokesman for Big Mama?
Well, all of us is in one way or another.
Go ahead.
We either speaking up to make changes, or we speaking up to bring awareness to a certain topic or issue. So we all end up being their spokespersons. But some of us is the spokesperson for the enemy, and I don't want to give them no glory.
Go ahead. So you're saying Whack is he worked for the police. He police. Like Valid, what's the name of it? Jumpman and all them.
Listen.
We go to the next question.
Yeah, let's go to the next question.
My next question that we have for you, brother. Now, being that the killer clowns, they de facto, they liquidating all the assets. It seems like they pretty much but the cops seem like the cops still treating Nubians. The cops they still out here, and I see the Nubians handling it in another way. They ain't being aggressive with the cops. They're like, man, hey, what you doing? Like, are you like you see what you doing? It's like the cops are doing a same intimidation tactics to Nubians, right? Like they pulling brothers over, want to pull them out the car, and just treating. But a lot of brothers now know their rights. They know more about what's it ain't like it used to be back in the day where brothers didn't know what was going on. Brothers know about Fifth Amendment. Brothers know about all these rights. So why do you think the police is getting more, still running the same thing? And we know a lot of police is de facto because we don't even got police down here no more. We don't got nothing but sheriffs. But why do you think the police is cranking up, still going? It seems like to me it's only Pacific people within the force that's doing it. But why do you think that they still running this intimidation tactic on Nubians when they pull them over, man?
Well, the same reason the bully keep bullying the kids on the playground till somebody come along and stop them. See, if we was in our proper jurisdictional rollout, wherever you see somebody that got a police uniform and badge on, the sheriff supposed to arrest them for impersonating law enforcement.
Go ahead.
The sheriff not supposed to tolerate any police force on his jurisdictional land. The police are masquerading as law enforcement. They not the law enforcement. They policy enforcers. They enforce policies of a corporation. The only elected official in law enforcement in any geography on this land, you got two. One is your sheriff,
right?
And the other one is your United States Marshal, who can he's appointed, but he's appointed by an elected official who's given the jurisdictional authority to appoint him.
Go ahead.
Every police is masquerading as law enforcement or imitating. They all in violation of United States Code 1984.
They foreigners.
Dressing up under the color of law to intimidate the people of the land. And all of them don't. So they start thinking that they, by choosing people from the land to put on the force, they think that they give us the illusion that they're legitimate. But they handbook and protocols and they charters all that come from London, England.
Right.
And as long as we don't know that, they gonna keep doing what even the ones of us that do have an idea, like how long the Rise of the Moors been locked up?
A while.
See, they know law.
Yeah, they know the law. They supposed to know it. Like they
don't know enough to get out of that huckabuck though. They still gotta hire a bar member.
That's crazy, man.
Right?
Like, why do they do the Moors like that though? The Moors
It's war. It's war. See, they don't think that if you calling yourself a Moor, they think that you only think you know who you is and you don't really know.
Yeah.
And they about right. You almost there, but you stay in one school a little bit too long, exactly. And you a perpetual sixth grader now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. You ain't got to university or college, so they're going to treat you like the imbecile in law that they assume you is because you know just enough to be dangerous to yourself and others.
Go ahead.
And you got to remember, they only got jurisdiction over minors.
Right. Or
let that sink in.
That's right. And you're incompetent. If you're a minor, they can say you're incompetent.
Incompetent, yep.
You don't know enough. You don't know enough to defend yourself. You pretty much a retard. They pretty much saying you retarded, and we gotta speak for you because you're a retard. You know what I'm saying? You because it's like an old person that's got Alzheimer's, so they really ain't they don't remember. Their mind ain't all the way there, so they gotta need somebody to speak for them. They call that not a trustee. What they call it? Not an attorney. What they call it? Power of attorney. So you need a power of attorney. You sign the bar up to the bar, the British accreditation registration. Yes, so they are British.
All of that is organized fraud. They the biggest mob on the land. They the biggest mafia on the land.
Right.
Look, what blew the lid off of it, a lot of people don't remember when the police chief from LA came out and said, try me if you want to. I got the biggest gang in the country and we got chapters in every city.
What?
I forgot his name. I think his last name was Gates or Getz.
Yeah, you talking about the same dude that was doing operation? It was like the 80s, 83, 85?
Yeah, but he made that statement around the time of the Rodney King situation.
The Rodney King happened at 90-something, 92?
Yeah.
93, yeah.
90, 91.
Yeah, I did a tape on this guy. I know you talking about Gates. He came right to the guy that's that was involved in recruiting them guys from Mississippi to come up there from the Ku Klux Klan to come up there and be police in the LA police department.
No, he was a Negro.
Who Gates?
Yeah, whatever. I can't remember his name. Somebody gonna put it in the chat.
Ain't never been no chief of police in LA that been black. I mean, during the 80s and 90s.
Daryl Gates, I think was his name. Yeah, Daryl Gates.
He a brother. That ain't no brother. Daryl Gates ain't no brother unless he was light skinned. I got pictures of him in my file. Daryl Gates is a white dude.
The dude that was saying it in the press conference, he was melanated.
Oh yeah, well he probably wasn't Daryl Gates because Daryl Gates was the chief of police of LA during that time of Rodney King. I remember because it came up in the Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington file. I remember him. And before him, all them cats was Ku Klux Klan. Daryl Gates is Ku Klux Klan, that guy. Unless you're talking about the other guy, the guy that was infiltrating, that was undercover police working for Crash, and it was another guy named Darrett something, and he was a black guy, and he was the one that was infiltrating all the Crip sets and starting wars with the other clans. Going having shootouts.
Yeah, you can't even look it up now. First thing when you type in LA, is the only thing coming up is Big U.
Yeah. But you can go watch that. You can go watch that Tookie Williams tape I put out. I got pictures of that dude, Derek Gates, in that video. And
It was one of them. It was one of them Negroes. Might have been a lieutenant, but it was one of them Negroes. But it was a message directly from the chief.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
And he was calling out gangbangers. See, we don't, like, for instance, the word gang mean tribe. But if you tell somebody that, they look at you like you crazy because they never did the definition of the word. They never looked it up.
Right.
So they don't know that gang mean tribe. So for the purposes of the war, when you can influence the meaning of a word from its original usage to an alternative usage, like the word nigga wasn't always derogatory, and it wasn't always a term of endearment. It went through a phase.
Right.
Where it was what you call a passive word as negro. Right. Then with Southern drawl to it and the way that the usage of the word, it became nagger.
Yeah.
Right. Then it became derogatory when it became applied to the people in a negative manner. Then, if you read Richard Wright, Black Boy, he tell you that they used to call each other nigga so they could show how hard they was and that the word don't hurt them like it do their elders. You know what I mean? So a lot of the culture, the way that we do stuff, anything that's damaging us, we try to figure out how to turn that damage into something that we can prosper from.
Right.
You know, and it found its niche in the hip hop music. When you go to hip hop, when you go to early hip hop, Curtis Blow, Grandmaster Flash, and wasn't none of them saying nigga in the song. Matter of fact, you don't hear your first national nigga song until you hear from a group called Niggas with Attitude.
Right. NWA.
But the whole purpose was that is to show you the power that LA had over the rest of the country. We didn't know LA was culturally as important as it is, and the people in LA are ancient tribes, and they knew they value to each other, but they didn't know they value to the rest of their people. So when you start putting out a gang like NWA, then you have different groups of people following suit. Right? The first person that was shooting 100 niggas in the song was Cool G Rap. You know, first gangster rapper was Cool G Rap. Most of us don't know that. Most of us think that gangster rap just spontaneously popped up in the mid 90s, and Cool G Rap was doing that all the way back in the early 80s.
Go ahead.
Right? All he wanted to talk about was putting this steel on your ass.
Right.
You know? Yeah, he's the original gangster who decided to write raps.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Cool G, BGF, Blood Oath for life. But a lot of people don't know that some of them West Coast artists was the first ones using the music as the cover for them, like E40. Used music as a cover to connect chiefs behind the scenes all over the country.
Yeah, I can see that. E40.
You know what I'm saying? He was doing it.
L40 water. L40 water.
He was doing it. 40 water is a code. His name is a code. Right? Because the only way to see through the water with 20/20 vision is you got to stack your lenses.
Go ahead.
40 water.
Go ahead. That makes sense.
I see clear through the water. Piscean age coming to a close. You know? It's so much to us as a culture that's more than us as an individual from any part of the land.
Right.
You know, most of us don't know Posse on Broadway, Mix-a-Lot. He from Portland, Oregon, some damn where. We thinking he from New York or Philly or something. He from all the way up there in Oregon.
Yeah.
You know? And
Hey.
he was a very, very powerful influence, because when you start watching his moves and the people he was hanging out with from his area, he was making stuff happen throughout his community under the cover of music.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He figured it out when he got, what's the man say, the white boy, people think he funny, a real estate investor who makes a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? Because he was using the one of his guys as the face for his real estate market, but he ain't gonna tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They gonna think my man die hard loyal. That's why he in that position. He ain't trying to run away with the bag.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to make the bag bust open because there's so much in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference between us and the hood versus when we start dealing with those lighter complexion people. I call them the mulatto group now because most of them passing.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that's different about their experience is they understand the value of working together to accomplish a goal. Everybody get to eat at the end, except we think that whoever is in running the mission, that he the only one can eat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't until Big Meat started showing the brothers how to live with wealth, right, that the youngsters start figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Right. I stayed mad at Jeezy for a long time until one of the chiefs told me the code. If your ship burned and you send out a life raft, don't call it back for help because you're going to sink that one too.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sitting there looking at it, and then I started watching his moves. I said, okay, he's following his training. If his training wasn't good, he can't make it.
Yeah.
Right. And I had to apologize for not seeing him for who he was, but seeing him for who the system wanted him represented as. It's a whole difference, you know. So when he first came out, I didn't mess with him at all. Now I can bump all this stuff because I know his angle and I know why he had to move how he had to move when BMF fell.
You
Right,
think
but
I was actually, do you think that that when Big Meech got it, was supposed to get released, that the COINTELPRO FBI ran the same tactic they did with Larry Hoover, where they put out the rumor that he was snitching? You think that was a rumor that the feds put out, or was Big Meech really snitching, or did he really work with Tammy?
listen, I was in prison for 16 years.
Go ahead.
I never seen somebody cooperate and do their whole bit.
Yeah, do 20. Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead.
I never seen that before. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I never seen somebody cooperate and then do their whole bit.
Yeah.
Right. I done seen people roll over facing trial and end up with 30 years instead of life. But I've never seen a person that was actively doing their bit and
still do the whole bit.
And still do the whole bit. Because normally what happened is you come in, you get your time, dude get to a certain point, I can't take it no more. Gotta find a way out. And then they see so-and-so they know still out there getting them. They was the enemy anyway. Right? So now they work with him to get him. Then they say, okay, now you go back to court and you get 11 years, 20 years took off your sentence.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody that's already doing a bit decide to cooperate and then do the whole bit.
Yeah, right.
I never seen it.
He ain't getting nothing out the deal, really.
Now, in this modern age, I can't say it's impossible because people do some weird shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But I never personally seen it. It's beyond my experience to somebody cooperate to do their whole bit.
Yeah.
Also, I never seen somebody that knows somebody a snitch, that somebody else been calling them a snitch, conceal this person until it's convenient for their economics to call him a snitch publicly.
Yeah.
I never seen that before. That's some new shit to me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a bunch of it could be, but I tell you this, I have not heard that Meech sat on no stand or wrote no statements.
Yeah.
Still. So whatever the lady might have been like, she might have been sweet on Meech.
Yeah.
She could have made deals without his knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't there. But I've seen women of guys doing life bits do some strange things to get him back into court.
Yeah.
I done seen him seduce judges, seduce prosecutors, you know, have babies by these people at the same time they're trying to get their guy out of prison.
Yeah.
I done seen it. I done seen all of that. I had one old head tell me they had cut his life bit to like 28 years. And he told me that he gonna take care of that baby that she had by that judge like it was his firstborn. He said he don't give a damn about that because he would have never had that opportunity had she not slept with that judge.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, where do you draw the line at on somebody trying to help somebody else?
Right.
You know, and the hardest people to help is the ones with what you call a contract on their head. When somebody put a price tag on your head, it's almost impossible to help them, especially for some real money.
Yeah.
You know, in the hood, you can get people that do them $100 hits, some $1,000 hits, crack rock hits. They already gonna go to prison. Yeah. Most of them get caught. Yeah. But when you start talking about 50,000, 100,000, $250,000 to take you out, now you talking about a whole different group of hitters. Yeah. And it's hard to protect somebody from them kind of hitters.
All right.
Don't let them be somebody that get up to $500,000 mark. You know, it's difficult to save that person from getting hit by the hitter that's coming. Because you ain't gonna know when he gonna come or how he gonna come. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So once you discover it's a hit on somebody, you supposed to put them out of the mix. Fake their death if you have to.
Yeah. Machiavelli in this. All through your body. Blows like
you
a
truck. You could ride with me now.
Yeah.
Niggas are quick to scream how they die for me now.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you a guy that I like, man. What I've been on this guy for the last. I always liked this guy, but I've been on him hard for like the last couple of days. That Nas be saying some stuff in his raps, man. Like he different from everybody else. Nas. You
don't even know who Nas is. Nas he one of the ancient princes of the land.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Nasir mean the light.
Go ahead.
And he supposed to get right where he at. Now, all of the people that's about something that's right, that want to get in, they got to get the rub from Nas. But if you in there strictly for the money, you got to get the rub from Jigga.
I noticed Nas, well, he moved different. He moved real different than all the other rappers. Like
he got the rub from the real Roxanne. Grew up over there with him in the Queensbridge. One of the great. That's what make Nas so important, because who he get the rub by.
Go ahead.
Right? He get the rub by the mother of hip hop, Sylvia. He get the rub by one of the first female MCs that won battle raps against dudes. She the hands down the Big Mama of rap. You know, Sylvia was the first. Sugar Hill was the first hip hop record label dedicated to putting out hip hop music. So Nas was able to sit with her and get the rub from Roxanne. He's destined for greatness at that point. Then his father was an old-time jazz musician.
Right. That's right.
So now he getting the rub off the fatherland from it's already in the blood to the love from the motherland talking about keep watch the story, his story. You gonna show her what was that show? It was a show on, and she told Nas, she said, keep practicing. It was her story. Keep practicing, you're gonna be great.
Mm-hmm. Well, you listen to Nas lyrics, boy. To me, Nas better than Tupac. Like, as far as they really can't be compared to each other.
Now you about to start a fight.
Tupac was more revolutionary.
Now you about to start a fight.
Tupac was more of a revolutionary in his rap, but
now you about to start it. Now you about to start a fight.
Nas be saying some. Nas be talking about Empress. I mean, say Empress get a cheaper, man. That boy, man, you listen to his rhymes. It's just, I like Nas. Nas is my favorite rapper. I like Nas.
Everybody entitled to have their favorite.
Yeah, I like Nas.
Everybody entitled to have their favorite.
Ooh, na, 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 la, 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 la. I like that. That Wayne did with DJ Khaled.
You know, Tupac in my top 5, but he not my favorite.
Yeah, Tupac. I like Tupac. He in my top 5.
My all-time favorite when I first heard him, I couldn't stop listening.
Who?
How you say? Pick up the mic and add a cigar. Oh, man, I forgot the song. How it start.
Yeah, One Mic.
Oh, that was cold. That One Mic was wicked. That One Mic was. Follow me into a solo, get in the flow, and you can picture like a photo. Music mix mellow, maintain to make melodies for MCs, motivate to break some ever last, and I can go on for days and days of rhyme displays that engrave deep as X-rays. I could take a phrase that's rarely heard, flip it. Now it's a deadly word. I could get iller than all my killing and bomb with no alarm. Rock him, I remain calm.
Hey, Rakim got some flow too, though. Rakim up there with he come in that same line with Nas and them. All them boys.
You know, he changed rhyme patterns when he came.
Yeah.
He changed, because remember, when you listen to early hip hop, Curtis Blow, they only was concerned about the rhyme pattern matching up at the end of the sentence. Mm-hmm. When Rakim came in, he was what they call to that. He was making rhymes with the beginning of the sentence to this sentence, with the middle of the sentence to this sentence, and the last one in this sentence to the first one. And he was putting it down. He changed the way people write rhymes. And the only person that was even close was Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy go hard too. Most of the people was imitating Rakim. Like a lot of the guys that came out, they was imitating the Rakim flow. But then I'm gonna tell you another guy that got some flow though. That people that's Big L. Big L. Like, I believe Jay-Z. I don't like Jay-Z like that. Like, Jay-Z got some. His name is blown up big. But to me, if you listen to Jay-Z, stole rhymes from everybody. Like, but Big L was the